It occurred to me while I was hearing the text again this morning from the readers. We are living in this time, this desert time, this time of wonder, this time of fear, this time of not knowing what's going to happen next. And as I was studying the Word this week, I'd looked at the text and I go, these people, the Israelites, had come across through the desert and they had seen miracle after miracle after miracle of God. Traveling at night, a pillar of fire. Traveling during the day, a pillar of cloud. And yet, when something happens that takes them out of their comfort zone, what do? They start complaining. Well, is he here? And the doubts start creeping in. Don't we do the same thing sometimes? We're in a time which is, I could almost say unprecedented, at least in my time, where there is fear and there is questioning, and this is what our faith is about, folks. How we react at this time is going to speak more of our faith than in any other time. Do we seek God and His help and His comfort and His peace in this time and trust in Him to take care of us? Or do we do some very crazy things? I was mentioning this morning, a lady went last Friday to Walmart from the park to get some items, and it was packed first thing in the morning. She went there because there wouldn't be too many people. So everybody had the same idea there. And she was speaking to one of the workers, and I told her, well, just an hour ago, there was a fist fight over the last package of toilet paper. Where is our Christian faith in that? What is God calling us to but to band together for each other's goodwill, not to devise and stake out our own little hoard, and you can't have any. The fact that I've got 10 times more than I'll ever need doesn't matter. It's mine. I think we really need to be praying for everyone at this point that they can remember that God has not left us. He is with us. It's the only reason we have the strength to stand. It's the only. He is our first offense. He is our only defense. He has got people working to do what needs to be done for the good of all. But we need to live our faith in this time like we have never lived it before. Why would we be anxious at this time? Does God not have the power to protect us and care for us and get us through things? Now, He doesn't promise we're not going to have problems, Lord. No. But He does promise, absolutely, that He is with us every step of the way, every moment, 24/7 of every day, through these issues. And He asks only one thing, that you believe in His Son. You believe in the one who came, who suffered and died for us. We're told here in the epistles, we have been justified by faith, therefore we have peace with God. We are not at war with Him. He is here for us, to comfort us. They're telling us that we need to stay home. They're telling us to stay out of large crowds. Fine. But He is with us. And we need to be able to remember that not let go of it and allow panic in. Anyone have any idea how many times Jesus said, "Do not be afraid" in the scripture? I lost count. And he says it for a reason. Because it's true. Because the promise is there that we are protected through the blood of Christ. We don't have to worry about these things. That has been taken off our plate so that we can live our lives to help others, to call to others and share Jesus with others. Now our text this morning, the Exodus text, people were not happy. God came through, but did we have to ask? They didn't ask God. They didn't go to God. They went to Moses. They'd been watching God be with them all the time. Jesus opened the door. We don't have to go through a pope. We don't have to go through any other way. We can go straight to the Lord for our help, our protection, our comfort. Why weren't they going directly to God? Why weren't they asking and pleading rather than demanding and doubting? Jesus went into Samaria. And he met a lady at the well. The understanding at that period in time, the Jews had nothing to do with, they had nothing in common, they shared nothing with the Samaritans. They were considered unclean. And yet Jesus said, "Give me a drink." A good card-carrying Jewish leader wouldn't have touched anything a Samaritan had touched. Yet Jesus reached out, "Give me a drink." Now she thought he was talking about just the water. Was he? No. Anytime Jesus is talking, he's always talking on three levels: past, present, future, physical, and spiritual. The water Jesus has for us does quench our thirst. It is the spiritual water. And our spirits are just as thirsty as our bodies. And unfortunately, many times, for many folks, a lot more thirsty. We need that spiritual water, that wellspring springing up within us that comes only from Him, to live through these times. And live, I'm saying living, not just existing, not panicking and doing weird things, but trusting in Him. I met a lady years ago at a Catholic monastery I was studying at, Sister Margaret. I walked in that morning, I just walked in, it was before light, and all the lights went out. Boom! Darkness. We had classes, we had a big seminar coming in, people coming from all over the state. And just as I started to open the door, Sister Margaret came. I says, "Well, what's going to happen?" She says, "All good in God. He'll take care of it." She went on about her business. Saw her a little while later, and she was going around, making sure. We had the seminar. We had lots of candles. We did work outside. But we did it. And we did it joyfully. All good in God. God, just because you don't see Him standing in the middle of the room shooting orders, doesn't mean He's not there. Doesn't mean He's not in control. He is always there. And He never disappoints. He never goes back on a promise. Our baptism is a perfect example. Our baptism, as we are baptized into the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus through his blood, is the key to that open door to God. It is a key to all promises that we don't have to worry about. We have no worries if we have Jesus. And we don't have to go looking for him. He is right here with us. I know I've met folks that if they don't have something to worry about, they worry about the fact they don't have anything to worry about. Get a hobby. Find something else to do. But worrying about our lives, worrying about where we're going to get food, worrying about any of these things, we're told, is a waste of time. God's got it. He's here for us. He knew months ago what was going to happen. I'm not saying he sent it, but he knew it. And he is there for us to get through this time. We've got folks that are ill at home. We've got folks that are at risk at home because of their compromised immune system. We need to be in prayer. We can call them. We can check on them. Everything is closing down. Okay. You know what? If you need something, call me. I will find it. Drop it on your doorstep if necessary. One of your neighbors. Make sure we stay in contact. Right now, the big issue is like, oh, I'm going to hide over here in a corner and hoard everything and just... God doesn't call us to do that. God calls us together to be stronger together. One standing... And everybody knows the old thing about the rope, right? A one-strand rope is, it's not going to do so much. 2 strands is better. 3, 4, 8. The more come together, the strength is there. God calls us together, wraps us in Jesus, binds us together in faith to be the strength for this community. I was so happy when I got the text this morning asking about the names for the Tories folks, that we don't let them slack, because they sit there and some of them are aware and some aren't. But the ones that are aware, all of a sudden nobody can come in. They don't see what's going on. They're just sort of shut up. We need to keep contact with all of our friends and family, all of our fellow family members here at Trinity, and the ones who are at a distance. Let our faith shine now. Hope this doesn't sound weird. I think God is more concerned not so much with the dangers that we go through, but how we react, how we deal with whatever comes forward. Do we rush and do everything on our own the best we can, go, okay, well, that's all I can do, I guess I better pray? No. Wrong answer. What is the first thing you do when you got a problem? Pray. Everybody say it. Pray. Seek God first. Seek God first in all things.